Locomotive 10,100 carried 6 diesel engines and drove its wheels using side coupling rods, just like on a steam engine, and unfortunately, this unique locomotive met a very ironic end. Built at Derby Works in 1950, it was designed by Lieutenant Colonel Fell alongside Henry Ivett of the LMS. The wild part, Ivett had just built Britain's first mainline diesel-electric engines. Fell was pitching a concept that argued directly against his own collaborators' brand new work. Almost every big diesel locomotive is actually an electric train in disguise. The diesel engine spins a generator, which feeds electric motors on the axles. The engine never directly turns the wheels. That system works brilliantly, but heavy generators and motors are expensive and add tons of weight. Fell wanted to strip all that out and drive the wheels directly. The catch was the transmission. Mechanical gearboxes worked fine in small shunters, but nobody had ever built one that could handle 2,000 horsepower without disintegrating. Fell's answer was to stop changing gears and start changing the number of engines. 4 Paxman diesel engines fed a single central gearbox, each connected through a fluid coupling filled with oil. Fill the coupling with oil, and that engine engaged. Drain the oil, and the engine dropped out. To speed up, the driver simply powered on engines one by one. Inside the gearbox, 3 sets of differential gears combined the engines in pairs, and then combined those pairs together. The effective gear ratio adjusted automatically based on how many engines were pulling. The engine was the gearbox, and those other 2 engines were simply smaller auxiliary engines, whose only job was to blast air onto superchargers on the main engines, giving them massive low-end torque from a dead stop. There was just one dangerous flaw: the couplings only drove in one direction. If anything pushed the locomotive backward, the transmission locked solid. So, they had to install a special vacuum clutch just to brake the drive and prevent instant destruction. At 2,000 horsepower, the Fell diesel was briefly the most powerful diesel locomotive in Britain, and noticeably lighter than its diesel-electric rivals. In 1951, it took over London to Manchester expresses, outpulling the famous Jubilee steam engines by roughly 25%. Fell had promised that using multiple small engines would make maintenance easy. He was right about the engines, but dead wrong about the gearbox. In July 1952, a single loose bolt dropped straight into the gear train, completely destroying the transmission. It took over a year to rebuild, and British Railways never truly trusted mechanical drive again. The Fell was demoted to secondary duties on October 16, 1958, when it met its bizarre final fate at Manchester Central. Its internal train heating boiler caught fire. In the ultimate irony, the locomotive designed to replace steam was destroyed by a boiler. It was towed back to Derby and scrapped in 1960, but the legendary transmission that killed it survives today as a working scale model at the National Railway Museum in York.